everybody, it's Hime Figueroa and it's nice to see you again. Alright, you might be thinking from the video title, who's Zero? Well, he's a YouTuber who makes Nintendo related content. He started his channel making Mario related videos discussing things such as why Mario and Luigi Partners in Time was skipped over in terms of 3DS remakes. However, after the release of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, he began making Smash Bros. Videos such as every stage that didn't make it into Ultimate, what if every series got a new stage, and potential color palette swaps. Siiroth was pretty successful and many viewers enjoy his content, myself back in my old YouTube account included. But all that changed in 2022 when people began noticing a decline on his channel. How exactly? Well, Siiroth started making a lot of clickbait. If you look at his recent videos, every thumbnail has at least circles, arrows, chains, and the word ban shoehorned in. The titles sound way too attention-grabbing, such as Nintendo tried to erase them from history, Nintendo was forced to cut this feature in Smash, and the real reason Smash rejected them. And when you watch the actual videos, they come across as soulless and dull compared to the old ones. And that's because Siiroth switched from making videos for fun to making videos for views and attention. I mean, the whole reason he made a video about Smash Bros. Controversy was just so that people would click on Siiroth's Samus pixelated boobs at the thumbnail. Obviously, longtime fans did not like this change. Today, I want to revisit a video that I remember watching a lot when it came out just for how many flaws it had. The video is titled, "These Final Smashes Will Never Return," because, they got banned! The topic is pretty simple. Siiroth covers every character that had its Final Smash change between Brawl, Smash 4, and Ultimate. So why not call it every retired Final Smash or every Final Smash that was changed? Oh yeah, because the video wouldn't have gotten over 1 million views. There are so many problems with this video that I can't wait to talk about. And if you want to watch the video by yourself, don't worry, I will leave a link in the description. So, with all that said,
let's do this!
Why did Nintendo go through so much trouble to change almost half the roster's Final Smashes? Did they all just suck?
No, it's because according to your thumbnail, they got banned.
Until you uncover the real reasons for all of this, lying within here is a story more tragic than you may think.
Seriously?
Does every explanation behind a change needs to be tragic nowadays?
One of the most memorable Final Smashes of all time for me has got to be Luigi's Negative Zone.
I appreciate you start off with the handsome one of the Mario Brothers.
But despite all this, they really wanted this move in the set, leading to fans trying to craft some sort of canonical origin for it. Because everything needs to have a complicated backstory in this game, right?
Just like how everything needs to have an overly complicated explanation as to why something got quote-unquote banned. Remember this, it will be important later.
Even kind of being referenced in the move's trophy description. Hey, remember when we had those? Couldn't find those details next to the PNG images?
The first issue I had with the video is that Siiroth goes off topic way too much. I know a lot of people, myself included, would do stuff like this, but they would at least try to have some connection to the main thing they're talking about. But Siiroth is one of those people that does this for the sake of one thing, patterning the video with pointless filler. Sometimes Siiroth mentions something that could have easily just been a quick pause if you want to read a text. Other times he starts talking about nonsense out of nowhere. Even if it does have some connection to what he's talking about, it still serves zero purpose.
Rosalina, who we all love and totally agree deserved a spot in Smash way back in 2014, had a pretty basic Final Smash back in the 3DS and Wii U edition of the series. See, she's from Galaxy, right? You know what else is from Mario Galaxy? Power Stars. Except when they're in Mario 64 over a decade prior, but that doesn't count, right? So since this character, who we decided needed to be in Nintendo's premier fighting franchise,
Mario's Cap was representing Odyssey Central, who hates Rosalina for reasons he still doesn't want to tell us, but I guess I need to get some contents about Siiroth's sarcastic attitude here. See, when Rosalina debuted in Super Mario Galaxy back in 2007, she was instantly a fan favorite character due to her emotional backstory and being a motherly figure towards the Lumas. However, in the mid 2010s, when games like 3D World and Smash 4, she became a divisive character, with some people accusing her for receiving too much attention compared to other characters in the franchise, but especially Daisy fans who many feared she was gonna replace her as the second most prominent female character. People claim this is coming back all just because Daisy didn't appear in the first trailer for the Super Mario Galaxy movie when it's just people jumping on stupid conclusions, but that's why Rosalina's inclusion in Smash Bros. Was a bit controversial.
Woo!
Oh, we could just upgrade it from a power star to a grand star. Man, I think we give this company a little bit too much credit for effort sometimes, I don't know.
Another issue that I had with the video is that Siiroth, for some reason, can't go at least 5 minutes without making a sarcastic remark or comment. Sure, we can be sarcastic, but Siiroth acts like this way too much that it ends up making the tone of the video come across as unnecessarily negative, especially since he's nitpicking things that don't really matter.
In Ultimate, his attack function's largely the same, but Ganon's appearance is based on the Ocarina of Time incarnation of the character, and was given another name, Ganon the Demon King. This one makes sense and all to get a more fitting reference for Ganondorf specifically, but I can't help but get the feeling that changes like these two were made just so Nintendo could come out and say, hey, we've got like 50 new Final Smashes in this game, the most new ever, while hiding slight changes like these in there. But Nintendo would never do something like this just for the sake of it, right? This is too close to conspiracy territory. Need I remind you that this is the same company that said the Wii U would have, quote, unprecedented third-party support before the console came out, only for it to flop, and then leave the people who did buy it after hearing that promise just go, huh, yeah, there's really not that much here. Nintendo doesn't care about your feelings.
And you don't care about giving us proper information because what the futz does the freaking Wii U flopping has anything to do with Ganondorf's final smash? Also, you are aware that the Ganondorf in Smash Ultimate is from Ocarina of Time, yet you complain that Nintendo only did this just so that they can lie about this being a new Final Smash. In other words, you want Ocarina of Time Ganondorf to turn into Twilight Princess Beast Ganon? Like...
Huh?
For Zelda, they very fittingly changed it to the Triforce of Wisdom, which he uses in the final battle against Ganon in Ocarina of Time. Spoilers, in case you haven't played it yet. I know the last time I talked about this, there's a lot of people who had a fit over a 20-year-old game getting spoiled that, is so reliant on its story.
If he would have simply said spoilers for an over 20-year-old game, it would have been perfectly fine, but nope. He had to make it awkwardly long.
But I feel they just wanted to change up both of their Final Smashes, because having two that are exactly the same kinda sucks, especially when very similar Final Smashes are used by other characters outside of Zelda and Sheik as well.
Or they just wanted to better represent the characters individually. Just saying.
They replaced it with a pretty cool Breath of the Wild reference with the bow and arrow, although the attack is still pretty simple. I'll take anything to get rid of this trash though.
You better remember Link, because he will be very important later.
This originated from the first Kid Icarus on the NES, where the Centurions are high-ranking soldiers of Palutena and the Angel Land who were turned to stone by Medusa's army. The inspiration kinda had to come from this game since it was the only one out at the time.
A little game on the Game Boy called Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters would like to have a conversation with you, but in your defense, most people either forgot or never heard of it.
This is even confirmed in dialogue within Palutena's guidance, so it's really cool how they kept up this detail. Now only if that logic extended to some other franchise.
Yes, it doesn't make sense that Chrom still appears in Robin's Final Smash paired up even though he's playable in Ultimate. But you know what else it wouldn't have made any sense? Ocarina of Time Ganondorf transforming into Twilight Princess Beast Ganon. Yeah, you'd think that would have made any logic.
My personal theory surrounding the change here is that Sakurai is secretly trying to put more spotlight onto a character that he helped revive in Uprising by consistently changing up their movesets and giving the franchise 3 roster spots in Smash. I mean, it's not the most absurd amount ever, but Sonic's just sitting over there like, yeah, this is fine.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, That pronunciation of Sakurai was disgraceful, disgusting, and despicable. Second, Pit is one of 4 characters who receive a different Final Smash in each game since Brawl, and the only explanation as to why is that Sakurai is secretly trying to put more spotlight on him just because he worked on Kid Icarus Uprising, not because he just want to try something different with him. And thirdly, suddenly he starts talking about franchise representation by playable fighters. Guys, say it with me. Unnecessarily nitpicking for pointless filler.
But to Sakurai, the Kirby series creator, this wasn't enough.
You better not mispronounce Sakurai like that way for one last time.
This is my personal favorite of his Final Smashes, even though I know the other ones do have their supporters. Yeah, they're somewhere, I'm sure.
This may sound biased because I did play Kirby Superstar Ultra, but this is easily Dedede's best Final Smash. Screw the old stupid ones that had no reference to it.
I've seen many support the change, while others feel it's a lot more generic compared to the original, which was much more unique. And I'd have to agree on that, like literally every character has a sword Final Smash nowadays. Did Kirby really need one?
Okay. There are people who think Smash Bros. Has too many sword fighters, especially anyone that's from Fire Emblem. And then you got people like Siiroth who say stuff like, literally everyone has a sword Final Smash nowadays. Oh, really? What about Corin, who transforms into her dragon form? What about Steve, who throws you into a house full of TNTs and zombies? What about every non-sword fighter character that still has no sword-related Final Smashes? Even Link, a character who's a sword fighter, uses a bow and arrow, and you even had a running gun about Mario still using fireballs for his Final Smash. Where's your freaking self-awareness?
Pikachu and Pichu both use Volt Tackle as their Final Smash, but it's uncontrollable in Smash Ultimate.
Pikachu and Pichu. I'm pretty sure the latter wasn't in Brawl nor Smash 4.
The decision to make Wario Man for his Final Smash was a great one. This form appears in so many different games throughout the series, but now you can no longer play as him, and it's just changed to a cutscene.
I'm surprised nobody talks about this particular shot of Wario Man's ass.
Sonic naturally changes into Super Sonic, but you can no longer control as him and just go zoom, 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 zoom around the screen. No, it does it for you.
I agree what you said about Super Sonic, but can you explain to me why did you added a red filter for when you said zoom, 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 zoom instead of, I don't know, shaking the footage a little bit? Like, seriously, what is this red filter supposed to represent?
Many are wondering why control was taken out of the player's hands in this way so many times. Does everything just have to be done for you in games nowadays? Back in my day, we didn't have to do that. We didn't play Pokemon with checkpoints.
1. The super guide is completely optional. 2. Why are checkpoints a bad thing to you? And 3. Okay, I'm just straight up gonna say this because Siiroth spends a good chunk of the next part of the video talking about this, but cutscene Final Smashes are not bad. The fanbase is overreacting. Not only do they look visually cool, but they managed to take the whole crossover aspect by having someone beat out another character from a different franchise. And for people who are complaining that they take away the gameplay, it's only for a couple seconds. It's not like they last for way too long, like say some of the pointless filler that Siiroth shoehorned in on this video. And in my opinion, especially when you're about to win, it feels more satisfying to watch a cutscene of your character beat up someone else than, say, just having the character transform with a slightly powerful moveset. Oh geez, as if someone wasn't already overpowered enough. Pac-Man and Sonic are the only exception because they play differently and their replacements are pretty lame.
Now you may be thinking, why did they bother making a whole new form of Bowser like this? Couldn't they have used something much simpler or already seen within the series? Well, you see, that would make sense, but for longtime fans of the Smash series, you may be familiar with Sakurai's personal beef with Bowser, and if not, well, this could probably make a whole video on its own.
Okay, you're literally pulling this out of your ass. Sure, Bowser's portrayed differently than what he does in the Super Mario franchise, but Sakurai has never stated any hatred towards him.
He's always angry and making generic growling sounds during gameplay, and this is no accident, as Sakurai has gone on record multiple times saying that he believes Bowser should be presented in that vein, that he is better in that role. Now, I love Sakurai, he's been the mastermind behind one of my favorite Nintendo series, but the idea that he knows better than the people behind the Mario series for what makes Bowser work as a character is pretty ridiculous.
It's pronounced as Sakurai, not Sakurai. B, Bowser. And C, you're seriously over-exaggerated this part because, come on, Sakurai is not that egotistical.
But for this guy in particular, of course Sakurai had to give him some special treatment. We couldn't just get a cutscene Final Smash or a quick attack like most others, no. We need to see Sakurai's vision for gaming's biggest villain highlighted in some way, so you do get some control of this new attack.
Sarah must have watched the Powerpuff Girls episode of Mo Language and thought, speaking in overly long and complicated sentences like Mojo Jojo, it must be a great idea. I should do that.
And my personal theory is it's still all over Sakurai's secret hatred of how Bowser is portrayed.
Do you wanna know the origin of Giga Bowser? This is supposed to be Sakurai's interpretation of Bowser's sprite from the original Super Mario Bros. How did I know this? Oh, it's because I did some research. Something that you either didn't do that or you did, but you decided to stick with your nonsensical headcanons because every single change needs to have an overly complicated explanation.
Another Mario character who got a Final Smash change in Ultimate is Diddy Kong. I guess he's not really a Mario character, huh? Guess my transitions are slipping.
Still funnier than any of those annoying, haha, his name is Diddy like the controversial rapper jokes.
In the original Final Smash, Lucario would fire off this mega powerful blast of aura at the opponent, and kind of a compromise was made in Ultimate by going back to Aura Storm, but Lucario still mega evolves, which is nice to see.
What's this? A character that got its old Final Smash back? Which means that there could still be a chance for any of these old Final Smashes to come back in a future game. Therefore, the video didn't need a clickbaity title and thumbnail.
Due to technical limitations with the 3DS version of the game, they had to remove the swapping mechanic of going from one character to another. And if they could only keep one of the three Pokemon, of course Charizard's gonna be the one who gets that preferential treatment.
Oh my god, he used an image that contains Venusaur and Water Turn. He got the Pokemon's run!
But aside from my personal pet peeve with the form itself, it was a fitting attack, until Ultimate saw the return of Squirtle and Ivysaur, and subsequently the triple finish Final Smash, in which Mega Charizard X does not return.
Again, Charizard is a character who got its old Final Smash back, therefore the title and thumbnail of your video didn't need it to be clickbaity.
But I can't seem to get behind this generic barrage of punches being its replacement.
Siiroth, don't you think that DK's Final Smash was changed because people would often associate DK more with punches than bongos?
But for a character as iconic as Donkey Kong, I feel he deserves much better. Kinda like some other iconic character.
Oh my freaking god, we get it. Mario needs a better Final Smash that isn't throwing giant fireballs with the Mario finale. Will you please stop bringing this up?
The Landmaster also had the issue of not really referencing a majority of games in the franchise very accurately. Riding on a tank on land definitely isn't what people immediately think of when playing a Star Fox game, although I'm sure for the sake of the franchise, I'm sure fans wouldn't mind people at least thinking of something about it. Man, what a sad state this is in. I feel for you, Star Fox fans.
Actually, The real reason why people don't consider the Landmaster an accurate representation of the Star Fox franchise is because out of the 3 Star Fox characters that are playable in Smash Bros., Fox is the only one that canonically used the Landmaster and enjoys it. Falco hates the Landmaster. There's a reason that whenever you activate it in Brawl and Smash 4, he says,
"Personally, I prefer the air."
And in Ultimate, he finally gets the air. In Wolf's case, he actually never used a Landmaster in the Star Fox franchise outside of Soul's multiplayer mode. And as someone who never played a single Star Fox game, I went on doing my research.
And I think the reasons for this are, number one, no one really actually caring about Rob as a character.
People do care about Rob. I mean, have you seen those people that desperately want him to return to be a playable racer in Mario Kart, not counting his cameo as a bike in Mario Kart World?
It keeps the theme of simplicity that they're going for here, but in contrast to Smash 4, this one makes it a little bit more unique than someone like Samus. I wonder how Metroid fans feel about Rob getting a more unique Final Smash of all characters, whereas Samus has just been stuck with the same lame one for years. Hey, you never know, with the Metroid series kinda picking up in popularity nowadays, maybe in the next entry we got hope for something more interesting? At this rate, the next Smash is probably gonna come out before Metroid Prime 4.
I thought we were talking about Rob. Why did you suddenly switch over to Metroid? Oh yeah, it's because you don't care about Rob. Also, that little Metroid Prime 4 comment, yeah, it did not age well.
They likely changed the attack to make it quicker to execute, but I also believe part of the reason has to be because of the visible gun on screen. Like, in a teen-rated game in Brawl, it got a pass, but probably not here. Oh, but it's okay for Inkling to use a gun, but not Snake. What's this favoritism?
Yes, Siiroth, it's okay for Inkling to use a gun that shoots freaking ink. There are 2 other characters from N-rated franchises that use bullet-shooting guns, but no, you had to go with the one from the child-friendly franchise.
Now, when I say the character is Zero Suit Samus, you're probably thinking to yourself, man, I don't care. Unless you're an artist.
Just because you don't care about Zero Suit Samus doesn't mean that everyone else that isn't an artist doesn't care about her either.
But again, I can't help but think about the striking similarities between the changes made for Zero Suit and that of Snake. Guess it makes sense to find out that these weren't the only similar changes that these 2 characters would undergo in Ultimate. Yeah.
Of course, the only thing that you care about these 2 characters is the reduced boobs and ass respectively.
A compromise could simply be made by incorporating Yoshi's more interesting abilities like the flight and fire into his main moveset, but since Nintendo doesn't seem to want to bother altering any of the OG characters, I highly doubt that happens.
8 of the characters you talk about, including Yoshi, had their final smash change. The only ones to remain the same since Brawl are Jigglypuff, Captain Falcon, Ness, who even then just added Pala and Boo to Pika Starstorm, and Mario, who are you constantly bringing up that he still throws 2 giant fireballs. Again, you just freaking contradicted yourself to exaggerate your stupid point. This is a disaster! This video is terrible. Let's recap my problems. We had a clickbaity title and thumbnail, pointless filler, unnecessarily nitpicking, unfunny sarcasm, exaggerations, contradictions, that really ass-pull claim of Sakurai's supposed hatred towards Bowser, and worst of all, Pretty Boy Luigi was the punching bag in the video! Honestly, this video is a perfect example to showcase how much Siiroth's channel has declined. He used to put passion and effort into his videos, but ever since 2022, it seems that he comes up with the thumbnail and title first and then makes the actual video, because he doesn't make videos for fun anymore. He only cares for views and attention, hence why his channel nowadays feels soulless. However, before I end the video, I figured that I should probably end it on a positive note by mentioning people who had covered the topic of cut Final Smashes but did a much better job than Siiroth. The 2 major ones are Eric Nipmart and P. Jiggles, who covered the origins of every Final Smash way before Siiroth, and guess what? did a much better job and they're better informative because they did proper research. And in P-Jiggle's case, he even mentions the origins of Giga Bowser instead of coming up with that stupid idea of, oh, apparently Sakurai secretly hates Bowser. Odyssey Central also made a video about cut final smashes, but did a much better job than Siiroth because he didn't add in pointless filler and wasn't being overly sarcastic all the time. And you wanna know why? Odyssey Central made that video for fun, while Siiroth made his video for the sake of just getting views and attention. At the end of the day, I really hope that one day Siiroth goes back to the old format and starts making videos for fun and passion like on his golden age. But I really doubt that would ever happen. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time. Ooh, I'm very tired, much like Kirby. I should take a nap right now.